How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another heavy metal diecast video, and today we've got this massive one here. This is from Amercom. It is a 1/72nd scale diecast helicopter. It is the Bell TH-57C Sea Ranger, and I only grabbed this for around $10, and it is quite small, as you can see by the size of my hands. And this is actually based on the Bell 206, a civilian helicopter made by, well, you guessed it, Bell Helicopters in the United States. And this is the military version, of course, used by both the US Marines and the US Navy in a training capacity, of course, as a training aircraft. The first variants did enter naval service in the late 60s, and these are still in service, of course, today, but in a more modernised variant. And speaking of variants, as I said, this is the C variant, and what we want to do is actually get this out of the packet and have a little look at it. It is quite small, so what we'll do is we'll go cut this out of the packet and get this tiny little helicopter in our hands. We should be able to just peel that straight off, which is really handy. So obviously there is a stand there with the rotor blades. We'll move that to the side. It does come with a little backing plate, so you can actually see what this helicopter does look like when it is all assembled. And we will open the little packet here. Nice and noisy for you. We're doing it fairly close to the camera today because this is quite small, so we don't need to be too far away from it. And let's see how he comes out. It does come out very easy, and I don't know if you can see it past my fat thumb. It is... wow, this is a little bird indeed. This helicopter is very tiny. I'll try and show you as best I can, but it's probably going to be easier if you check it out in the photos at the end of the video, because my fingers are taking up most of what you can see. We'll have a little look at the front. As I said, these are relatively cheap. Of course, you know, it's mainly if you're trying to get an assortment of helicopters in your collection, you will chase one of these down. These aren't going to be everyone's ideal sort of model that they're after, but it is pretty cool nonetheless. It does have a reasonable amount of detail on there. And as I said, these are very cheap, so the tail rotor does spin, not hugely freely, but it does turn. It's got some nice navy markings along there. And it does, the rotor blade will be turning, of course. We'll have a little look around the side here and try not to crush it in our hands, of course. And this does look very nice. It does have some fantastic detail on it. It does look really cool. We'll have a little look underneath. It does, you know, not much underneath. Obviously, that's where the stand's going to go when we assemble the stand. And I reckon it definitely does look pretty cool for what it is, of course. But what we'll do is we'll assemble this. We'll turn this into a proper helicopter. So I assume it's not going to be too difficult. There is only two rotor plates that we do need to put on. I'm hoping I'm doing it right, because this does not come with any instructions. So that is on. Well, as you can see, it doesn't spin very well. This is a very budgety one. This is definitely not the greatest of builds, but it does fill a gap if you're collecting these type of aircraft and you want all sorts of helicopters if you're building up your helicopter force in your collection, of course. It does, you know, rotate freely. There's no dramas, and it does keep quite even. So sometimes these helicopters, the spinning of the rotor can be really wonky as well, but this is quite fine, quite straight and level, which is really good. And I reckon it, you know, comes up okay for, as I say, what it is. But it does, it is tail heavy. It does not sit on its skids properly. So if you want to display it like this, you got to work out a way to put a little bit of weight in that front, because it won't sit properly. But if you're going to use that two-piece stand, the base does look a lot like the Hobbymaster stands, but you can just chuck it on the base like so, and you can display yours in flight. And it does have a little bit of information on that stand, of course, and that is how you will display this, you know, reasonably decent helicopter in flight, if that's the way you like to display your aircraft, of course. But look, overall, these, you know, Amercom ones aren't the most expensive builds, but they also are producing a lot of helicopters that are not readily available, of course. So if you are trying to get a bit of diversity, that's a pretty cool word to use these days. If you're trying to get some diversity in your collection, of course, that is a good option to have with some of these Amercom releases, because they do have a lot of different types of aircraft that you can get. And I reckon that does look all right. It's very passable. Just don't look too close to it. And don't put it on skids unless you can chuck some weight in the front of that. All right, guys, I will, as you can see, sausage finger test. It is a tiny helicopter. I will do the usual. I will take some happy snaps of this aircraft and chuck them on at the end of the video. And you can look at this Bell TH-57C Sea Ranger without my hands crushing it on camera. So if you enjoyed this video at all, hey, throw us one of those. I'm hoping this video helped you in making that choice if you want to grab one of these or not, because as I said, it's not the best build in the world, but it is something a little bit different, of course. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you have yet to do so. We do like to bring you all sorts of models, no matter the budget of the model. We do cheap ones, we do expensive ones, we do the whole lot. So hopefully you'll see something that you do enjoy every now and then. All right, guys, once again, thank you very much for spending your valuable time, of course, watching another one of our videos. I hope you did enjoy the little content we had today. All right, everyone, thanks for coming. You all have a fantastic rest of your day. Cheers, everyone.